Short questions, short answers. My name is Ariel ben-Lyman, HaNaviy. Let's look at our first question for tonight. Question: should we celebrate the Jewish feast as Christians? Well, the short answer is yes. I think Christians should be celebrating the feast. After all, we looked at this a few weeks ago in a different video. Paul tells us that we should be keeping the feast. Read 1 Corinthians 5:8. The feasts of Leviticus 23 are actually applicable to non-Jews as long as they've come into covenant with Adonai, the God of Israel. That makes sense? My premise is simple. Here's how it basically works. The Torah was given to Israel exclusively. The Torah is for Israel because God only cut a covenant with Israel. He didn't cut a covenant with any other nation on the earth. Agreed? Read Amos 3:2. My premise continues. Torah was not given to non-covenantal individuals from the nations. A person commits himself to God and then obedience to his Torah. So let's flesh this premise out just a bit. This arrangement actually limits Torah responsibility to those in covenant with God, specifically as it relates to special revelation. So I wouldn't say that the Torah is for non-Israelites, right? My thesis hinges on the reality that a genuine covenant member joins the remnant of Israel via faith in Yeshua, and that's what makes him a genuine covenant member. So don't be confused. I didn't say this makes him Jewish. Keeping Torah doesn't make you a Jewish person. So to imagine that Gentiles keeping Torah in the time period of the Tanakh makes them Jews is a rabbinic fallacy. It's an anachronism. To be sure, if you look up a different version of the Tanakh, the Stone Edition, it actually translates the Hebrew word ger as proselyte. But why do the Jewish translations opt for proselyte in these verses? It's because the prevailing view of traditional Judaism believes that the Torah is for Jews only. Thus, ancient theology shapes modern theology. Thus, whenever modern Jews find a non-Jew in the text-keeping commandments that are meant for exclusively for covenant members, they think that it must be because they're trying to become legally recognized Jews, and that kind of clouds their theology. Let's put it another way. Traditional Judaism doesn't believe that Gentiles can be covenant members without being converted to Judaism. So they don't think that the Torah is for Gentiles. In the understanding of traditional Judaism, all Israelites, past and present, are actually Jewish by identity. Of course, I categorically disagree with this position. I don't believe that the Torah is a Jewish-only document at all. I think it becomes necessary for us to differentiate between the terms Jewish and Israelite, especially in theologically crucial arguments like the ones we're having right now. Basically, it looks like this. All Jews are Israelites, but not all Israelites are Jews. Does that make sense? I'm simply trying to enforce that Jews and Gentiles who are genuine covenant members through Yeshua are in fact Israelites, and that gives them Torah responsibility, actually binds them to it. The secret is in affirming the truth that Israel is a mixed ethnic group, right? She's not all Jews, she's not all Gentiles, as if anyone were arguing that position seriously. Instead, really, what is Israel? Israel is a bouquet. Israel is a bouquet. Look at all the people. She's a bouquet of Jews and Gentiles, both in covenant obedience to God and His Torah. When a Gentile joins Israel via Yeshua, he doesn't have to convert and become a legally recognized Jew first. And this truth was actually hidden from historic Jewish Israel down through the ages. They thought that ritual conversion was necessary for Gentiles wishing to follow God and His Torah. So the Torah was for Jews only in their opinion. But that's wrong. Let's get rid of that mistaken theology. Paul came to correct that. And he describes his theology as the mystery of the gospel.